Hey lovely wild hearts, it's Lisa here. I'm coming in today to tell you about my brand new journal called This Is My Life. I created it in April and I've been working on it myself. And I'm going to tell you a little bit how it came to be and also what's inside, as I think it's going to help loads of you. I just love it. I love the colours. I love the boldness of it. I actually chose pink, orange and yellow as the colours for the journal intuitively, but actually they represent, the pink represents the heart chakra, the yellow represents the solar plexus, which is where our confidence, where our will, where our drive is, and the orange represents our sacral chakra, which is where our creativity is, where we create things from. So that all makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So let's have a look and see how this came to be. I think a lot of you will be able to relate. So society conditions women to be people pleasers, and it's making us sick. The woman who's been conditioned to please everyone ignores her feelings and betrays herself until one day her body says no. There is little awareness in our medical field about emotional repression, emotional abuse, and how it manifests in the body as anxiety, depression, and autoimmune disease. Women feel the pressure of always doing, helping, and sacrificing their dreams in the name of being a good girl. You are not selfish or difficult if you want to call your life your own, and you are not here to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. And so my invitation here is to put yourself first. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened to me. So I have introduced myself as a wild heart, as you know, a creative encourager, a journaler, a chronic daydreamer, a writer, and recovering people pleaser. And one day, not long after I turned 50 in February of this year, I decided to choose myself. So those of us that have been brought up in dysfunctional homes, society conditions us to be good girls anyway, but for those of you particularly who've been brought up in dysfunctional homes, will know that you always had to put your parent first. So that's where it starts. Now, breaking that pattern is it's so hard. It almost feels like an unknown force is coming in and stopping you from putting yourself first. It also can feel incredibly scary. You can feel a bit stuck with it, a bit hopeless. So I just decided that I was going to choose me and see what evolved out of that. So it's just making that commitment to yourself and saying, I choose me. Because I remember that day so well. I was frustrated, I was exhausted, I was broke, and I was fed up of being everyone's mum. Like feeling like I was just caretaking everyone, which was my job as a child. And actually my business that I had before this one, which was as a child coach, I was taking care of everyone. I was everyone's mum. And it said this old childhood pattern of putting everybody first was now costing me emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually. And often when we have these kind of repeating patterns in our life, it means that we have to hit a rock bottom before we decide to do something about it. We have to be in enough pain to do something about it, or we have to be able to be listening to ourselves. Well, if we're tuned into what everyone else is doing all the time, the chances of us actually listening to ourselves are slim. I mean, how many of you hear that little voice in your head that thinks, oh God, I'm so tired, I just want to sit down, or I really want to stay in bed, or I want an early night, but you don't listen to it? And I'm not judging you or making you wrong, because I am the same. I have quite a loud voice in my head now that's trying to take care of me, that wants the best for me, but I just push it away. So here is that little voice. Somewhere from deep in my soul, a little voice whispered, what about me? I'm worth more. She was actually quite angry at this point. I mean, really, it's not anger, it's simmering resentment. If you're resentful of something, if you're complaining about something all the time, it is a sign that there needs to be a boundary there, and it is time to take care of you. So this time I did listen, because I thought, if I'm going to live out my dream of becoming an author, there's me writing at my desk, then I'm going to have to stop going to bed every night wishing that I'm Carrie Bradshaw. That is an iconic scene from Sex and the City. I don't know if any of you watch Sex and the City. And actually do something. Like, almost when you're recovering from childhood trauma, it's like your dreams are just slightly out of reach and you don't think that they're going to happen to you, or but you do have to be doing something to make them happen. And you have to know what they are. You have to be clear about what it is you want to make it happen. So it was time to take drastic, bold action. And that's how the journal came to be. And so I invite you to download this journal and start remembering who you are. You're not what you do. You are absolutely not what you do. You're not the car you drive, the house you live in, the roles that you put yourself in, daughter, mother, friend. You are you. You're a spirit, a beautiful wild heart spirit in a meat suit. And it's time to kind of get in touch with that and define your dream and start taking daily steps towards a life that you love, not one that you need to take a holiday from. So I invite you on this 30-day journaling adventure to write your dreams into reality. And you've got 50 pages of inspiring prompts, resources, and practical coaching exercises. So they're all listed there. And you also get a bonus audio. So I've recorded a 50-minute audio for you, which I'd like you to just sit down and enjoy over a cup of tea before you start to journal. And I talk about my 30-day experience of this journaling adventure and really the situation that brought me to my knees and how I discovered that, this was a pattern, that this was an addictive pattern, actually, that I felt like I couldn't break. And so, that's how the journal came to be, really. And in the journal, so it's split into 5 sections, which are all clickable. So you've got an energy reset, and then you've got defining your dreams and writing them into reality. And then you're recreating the rules of your life, which I think is really important because so many of the things that we're conditioned to believe are rules. And these rules aren't written down anywhere. And sometimes nobody says them. Nobody says the rules. So you kind of just guess them and work them out. And if you did that as a kid, then you might not have got the right end of the stick. Then there's a whole library of inspiration in like loads and loads of tools and techniques and things to help you make this dream a reality. And then there's a daily journal section. And the daily journal section is 30 days of journaling. So you've got morning check-in, so you feel prepared and set up for the day ahead. Want you to set yourself up for success. And then there's an evening check-in so that you can reflect on the day and stay connected to your goals and grounded in your own body, which is so important because the part of us that's the people pleaser often isn't in our body when that's happening. It's kind of gone somewhere else. And then there's a 30-day tracker. And each day on the 30-day tracker, you can just tick it off. So you can download this journal to your tablet. It works on any tablet with an app like GoodNotes, which is what I use on my iPad, or you can just print it off, or you can have it up on your phone and just journal in your normal journal, alongside it, like a sort of companion, like a guide. But every single one of those days, if you click on each day, it will take you through to the journal pages for that day. And then there's the power of creative visualization to manifest your dreams, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what's really happening in reality. But often what's happening in reality is not what we see. If we're very fearful, again, if we've been brought up in a home that's chaotic and a bit mental, we're very hypervigilant and fearful all the time. So we need to train our brain to think in a different way. And I think you're gonna absolutely love this journal. I've loved making it. As I say, I've been using it throughout April, and it's really helped me get a handle and bring awareness to all my patterns of all the sneaky ways that I abandon and neglect myself, which is effectively what we're doing when we're putting other people before ourselves. And yet so many of us have been told you're selfish, or we feel guilty if we put ourselves first. So I want to put a stop to that today. And I just really hope that you will download it and give it a go. It's available to buy in my online shop. And if anyone's got any questions, just pop them in the comments below. I will leave a link in the description box below and in the pinned comments, so you can click through and pick up your copy. Do it today. I just feel like the minute you decide that you're going to put yourself first is the minute your life changes. And there's a quote actually here that I found myself saying in a recent YouTube video reading that I did, and I thought, oh God, that's so powerful. There it is. You will always put yourself last until you commit to putting yourself first. You will. It sort of happens quite unconsciously. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. As I say, any questions, let me know. And take care of you, lovely wild heart. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.